welcome back to my channel. Okay, this is technically part 2 because I would love to do my video here, so we're trying it. Let's see. There's always some nonsense happening every time. Blah blah blah. Anyways, all right, so let's see how this goes. I really try to do new locations for myself, but for you all too, because they're fun. The backgrounds are fun, you know, and it's just nice to do a video somewhere. It's nice to be outside sometimes anyway. So I hope that this is working. It's still loading on my phone, so I hope it's working. But at least it's saying live this time. Last time it gave you all a notice and said upcoming. Hey mom, how's the connection on your end? My phone is too slow. It's slow, and I don't know why, but yeah, let me know how it's going so I know if I can continue the video or should I just wait until I go home. And I don't want it to be choppy. I hate when it does that. And then the worst part is it looks fine to me. Like I don't get any choppy stuff or any of the stuff that you all get. So when I'm reading a book, I can't tell what you poor people are getting. Always delay. Is it a choppy delay or just slow? Like, is my sound missing? So sad. Would y'all like me to keep going, or should I pre-record the video and then send it back to you? I can always pre-record it and then put it live and just hang out with y'all live. My phone is doing nothing, so I'll never know. It's just frustrating. Yeah, comments are coming through. It lets you do comments. Gosh, don't try to make me pre-record. It looks good on my phone now. Alright, so here's what I do. I will pre-record it for you all, unfortunately, and then I'll send it back and try to upload it live You know, maybe like when I get home, if I upload it live, then I will try to be in a comment section with you all. So if you give me any comments, I could try to type back to you. That way I can try to keep the background. I should go for it, Mom. Is it working? Yeah, but I can't get it.
Oh, sorry. You're good.
The poor lady needed a charger, y'all, but my purse is underneath the camera. All right, I'm gonna try. If it gets too choppy, just let me know, because there's no point in doing it if it's choppy. I hate when the sound cuts in and out, and I cannot tell when the sound is in and out. Only you guys can tell. And because I'm reading the book, I can't watch it on my phone and make sure everything is good. So yeah, if it gets too choppy or if it is fuzzy and not clear, let me know, and then yeah, I can always pre-record it and then upload it and just be live in the comments. Because my phone is not going to help me either. My phone is just as slow. Anyways, but I promise you all that it tells me that I have all the bars and all the good stuff, and it just doesn't do it anyway. So yeah, my name is Tiana. I do all kinds of things on this channel. Following my micro Locs journey is one of them. Trying out new backgrounds is another one of them. Although, you know, I don't know why. I have internet, y'all. I promise I do. It just is rude. But anyways, today is a really good topic, which is why I really want this to come through clear. So again, if it gets too fuzzy, too choppy, or anything like that, let me know. Is important, and it is probably one of my most favorite topics as far as hair goes and hair care goes, and as far as beauty tips go too. Like, water sincerely is your best friend. So before I even read, we kind of look at products as the thing that is moisturizing, or as the thing that is kind of adding to your hair. And we oftentimes forget that a lot of times products are not the moisturizer. Products are the sealants. Like, they are sealing in the water inside of your hair, and how good the product is at sealing the water inside your hair determines if it is a good product for you or if it is a bad product for you. So yeah, let's get this party started. Again, if things get a little weird, I'm about to say I heard a baby. If things get a little weird, if it's fuzzy, if it's choppy, if my sound's going out, just shoot me a message. If you're family, just text me so I know that things is acting up, because this is important. All right, so let's go to our book. We're reading our book, Grow It Long. This is part of our hair growth series. Yeah, because there's some things that's in it that is really good that I did for myself after I did my big chop, that I know for sure it worked. And then there's some things that I used to do when my hair was shorter, because you know, you were trying to get it to grow after cutting it off. So there's some things that I used to do that I don't do now, only because I'm a little bit more content with my hair and how it looks and all that fun stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so this chapter is called The Truth About Water in Your Hair. And I was just texting my family to remind me. Let me know if something's about. So this is a huge chapter because this is super duper important. So we'll see how. Myth about our hair is that water is bad for black hair. All right, so already I need to stop, because that is so true. Like, when you have a relaxer, relaxer, don't get your hair wet because you don't want the chemical to come out. You want it to kind of set in your hair and make sure that it really is straight. And then we are also told as black women, you're usually told that only certain ethnic groups wash their hair every day, water their hair every day, and that if we do it, our hair will be dry, which is so funny because it really is the exact opposite. It is us not doing it and us not putting water in our hair that causes it to be dry. But again, that goes back to what I said before about it being a sealant, as the products being something that seals moisture in. So no, we cannot just wet our hair, but what we can do is make sure that we after we wet it, that we put something in it to kind of seal in the moisture. So the biggest myth about our hair is that water is bad for black hair. As black women, we have developed some radical misconceptions about the effects of water on our hair. And I do not know where the theory that water is bad for our hair began, but looking back at the much earlier generations of blacks in this country, many of the women wore their hair in very long plaits. And that's something that's true too. If you go on YouTube and you see some of the videos on there, oftentimes they will show you people in like Africa or whatever those places may be, and they'll show you with their hair kind of really long, but they also have some methods that are different than our methods. Having spoken to a few older women about what hair care was like, one common theme was the simple routine of wetting and greasing their hair and then just plaiting it up. The routine of women in foreign countries who have long, healthy hair seem to consist of the same, very similar routine of rinsing their hair nightly, oiling it, and braiding it for bed. So they're talking about using water, again, every single day or every night, kind of working on it, but adding water as part of your routine. The best conclusion for why we have been avoiding water has to do with the advent of hair relaxers or even straightening with the hot comb. Okay, so this is important too, because before there were relaxers, hey Shima, keep me posted on the connection, Sheem. I would love to stay here and do it live, but if it's choppy or whatever, let me know. Shame. But anyways, so before we did relaxers, then a lot of us were kind of like using a hot comb. Hot combs were really, really important before relaxers. And then after relaxers, we kind of got into flat ironing. You're not wetting your hair after you took the time to blow dry it out and hot comb it or flat iron it, because the water, again, those hydrogen bonds that are in there, they get broken by heat and by water. So if you use heat to straighten it out and you put water on it, you break them again and let them go back to the natural state. So if you had just got your hair pressed, flat irons, hot combs, or whatever, you're not wetting your hair. You're not wetting your hair because you would undo that style. And I have to say, I still have to do the 2-year lock update for you all. And what I'm going to mention in there, but I can also mention now, is that I definitely wet my locks a little bit more. But even still, I stopped blow drying because I don't want to be hindered just in like my everyday, like day to day. I don't want to be like hindered in what I do, excuse me, because I don't want to undo the fact that it was blow dried. Excuse me, because when it's blow dried, obviously it stretches more and hangs more when it's blow dried. And I know that if like I get too hot or if I go in water or whatever the case may be, I know that it will start to shrivel up some more. So I've been trying to embrace its shriveled up look and its curly look because it did grow some. So even though it is definitely curly at the ends and things rather, even though the ends are curly and I haven't been blow drying them, so they're super, super curly doing their thing, it still gives me a pretty good length, so it's not too bad. So I've been just kind of rolling with it or trying it. I did hear about steaming, and I haven't heard about it. I've seen it. So I have to do my research on it to see the benefits of it, but I can see how steaming can be really helpful. And even like in the shower, most times I cover my head in the shower because I don't want it to get wet. But I have definitely thought about, like, you know, when you take a shower, leaving your head uncovered just to let the steam in the shower kind of soak into your hair. Because for me, my hair is not dry, but my scalp, I don't know if my scalp is dry or just irritable. But let's go with dry for now. So I have thought about steaming. So yeah, I definitely have to look into that because I've been seeing that a lot. Here we go. So the best conclusion for why we have been avoiding water has to do with the advent of hair relaxers or even straightening with the hot comb. Water causes the hair to revert if the hair is straightened with the hot comb, but too frequent washing of relaxed hair can cause the relaxed hair to become limp or even dry rot. And that is with locks too. Like with the locks, if you have thick locks, I don't think it's as prevalent with us who have smaller locks, but if you have thick locks and you are letting too much moisture in your hair and you're not letting it dry out, you can actually get like mold inside your locks. So be careful if you have locks and making sure that they are drying thoroughly and you're not allowing them to be wet like day after day after day, because that might not be a good thing either. But yep, you did it in the shower, you're gonna get your butt whooped, because you're not supposed to be doing it in the shower yet. Shades of Sage. Shades of Sage, I told her she owes me 3 more months of not wetting it as she wants to, but I think she has taken herself out of that punishment and has been wetting her hair whenever she feels like it. Talking about she let the steam get in her hair in the shower. Alright, the next section is called Misinformation Led to Faulty Solutions. Every woman who has had a relaxer knows just how dry and dull her hair gets after washing it. It is the reason why most women do not wash their hair every day. The combination of shampoos with chemical relaxers causes their hair to feel weak. However, water is not to be blamed. Water is actually the elixir of long, lush, healthy hair, and that's why Shades of Sage is being disobedient. This is my nail, y'all, this paper clip. Shades of Sage is being disobedient and wetting her hair because she does understand, and I do too, that a lot of people with long hair in a natural community, they understand the value of letting your hair be moisturized. And moisture comes from water. Again, your products are sealing it, but moisture is mainly coming from water. So of course we talked about the harshness of shampoos. So if your shampoo is super harsh, and then you have something like a chemical in your hair, then yes, shampooing your hair every day could be too harsh. And that is why the natural community came up with the co-washes, and I feel like there's one other thing, but I can't think of it. But that's one of the reasons why they came up with the co-wash. Now there's been a big debate recently about co-washes actually being beneficial, but what I think the whole point of it was to wet your hair but not strip your hair with shampoo. So I would say if you're a co-wash person, or if you're interested in wetting your hair more, then you have no problem wetting your hair, because 2 things that people have to realize about hair, and I live by these 2 things, is that water rather. I live by these 2 things, is that 1, water cleanses. Water itself can clean. It's not going to give you a deep clean like soap, but water itself does clean. And 2, I forget the other 2. I forget the other one. But water itself cleans. So when it comes to like rinsing your hair every day, if you're not putting crazy chemicals in your hair, you can rinse your hair every day and get like some of the dirt out, some of the sweat out, some of whatever happened throughout the day, you can get that to come out of your hair. Now if you are using a lot of products and if they have a lot of chemicals in it, you're going to need shampoo more frequently than somebody who uses very minimum products. Like me, myself, I really only use the shampoo, the aloe vera. Sometimes I might put like conditioner or something on my scalp or whatever to kind of soothe it, but my products that I use are very minimalistic, so shampoo is not as much as a necessity for me as those who are doing so many things. And that also is why I do not lay my edges down, because I know I would have to use shampoo to kind of get those things out. So without putting too many products in it, I'm able to rinse my hair a little bit better. Shades, you have high porosity hair. But that's good though. That's better than people with low porosity hair. Okay. So here we go. However, water is not to be blamed, because water is the elixir of long, lush, healthy hair. I totally agree. Our coily hair especially needs the water. And over time, I realized that water was not the issue with our hair. It was actually the shampoo. This is what the author's saying. Prior to my visit to the naturopath, who insisted that I wet my hair daily, I had the opportunity to meet a woman who first gave me more insight as to one of her all-time hair growth secrets, and she insisted that water was the solution. So for those of you who do have experience with water, go ahead and, leave in the comment section how you kind of use water every day, or how often you use it, and how it has benefited you. So we have the tendency to have respect towards older women as wise and filled with great insight, or we can brand them as foolish and cast them and their knowledge away. But this lady's life was a perfect demonstration of both of those cases. When I saw her sitting quietly looking into nowhere land, I wondered what she was seeing. What was she absorbing that I could not comprehend? And as I looked at her, taking in her peaceful nature, I noticed her long braided plait flowing in the middle of her back. So instantly my interest in her piqued, and I bravely walked over to her and began with talk. It did not take very long for her to share with me what she knows about hair. She was eager and enthusiastic about sharing her knowledge. Hair, she said, should be treated like the plant. Oh, there you go, Shemas. Maybe that's where we got it from, that your hair is a plant, from this book. Hair, she said, should be treated like a plant. And one day I'm going to find my spot because I lost it. There we go. You have to water it and give it attention, but if you do too much, you kill it. Then she said, did you ever see a plant grow that did not get watering? Then she proceeded to tell me about her granddaughter who complains daily about her hair. She oils it and rolls it up. She measures it and seems to sit by waiting for it to grow, but she never wets it. I laughed out, thinking of all the women I knew who were doing the same exact thing, myself included. But Granny, you know water is hard on our hair type, I said. Nonsense, she responded. Said who? Of course, I went about sharing with her how the water breaks down our hair and why it takes the relaxer out. But for the very first time as I was sharing this, I realized that I had no basis at all in this myth. I had never proved it to myself that this was a fact. Then she said something quite simple. She said, stop using that shampoo. It's not the water that breaks your hair. It's the shampoo that dries out the hair. You can wet your hair every day and your hair will be clean and it will grow more for it. There are plants and things which are gentle on our hair. Throw away those harsh chemical shampoos. They were not made for our fine hair in mind. Ooh, my phone just took me right out the thing. Blah, blah, blah. All right, she said so many good stuff, and now I have to try to get it back. She said so many good stuff there. Okay, so first and foremost, she talked about using natural products. So using natural products, like I said, so that your hair is able to easily wash those things out. And like I said, your hair being a plant is so true. What she did say that was really, really important was the fact that, oh my gosh, I keep forgetting my thoughts. Oh, giving your hair attention. This is something that I think people forget about too, because many times people do things like put their hair in a protective style and then they ignore their hair, and then your hair comes out to protective style and it's dry. But giving it attention. And like she said, so I don't know, I love plants. Like, I love plants. I love watching them grow. I'm always trying to grow something. So, but you know, they always say about plants, like, oh, you got to sing to it. You got to talk to it. You got to, like, you know, build a relationship with plants. I've never tried that, but I can say that for your hair, I think that giving it attention matters. And that is why I'm so strongly for having a hair routine, because having a hair routine requires you to give attention to your hair. So you're not just like braiding it up, twisting it up, and ignoring it. You're actually doing things that give it attention. So some of the things that she mentions, like doing water every single day, I definitely want to try. I can't say that it's something that I will do for the rest of my life, But I also can't say that it's something that I would not do for the rest of my life, because I think there is good benefits in wetting your hair every single day. When I was natural, I think I tried once for maybe like a month or so, wetting my hair every single day. And at the time, I think me and my sister were doing our thing where we were like keeping our hair covered for like the whole year. So it didn't matter that I was wetting it, because it was in chunky two-strand twists, and I was covering it every day. So I wasn't like comfortable with wetting it. Versus if it had not been in chunky two-strand twists and I was trying to keep like a twist out or a stretch out look, I absolutely would not want to wet it every single day unless I'm trying to reset it every day and expect it to dry. And that is that's very tricky. But I do think that wetting it every day is something that worth trying. So if you're somebody who covers your hair all the time, and by cover I mean like a majority of it is covered, and you can afford to wet it every day, like you're not going to lose any real style, I say go for it. So part of my hair growth series that I'm doing on this channel, that is definitely something that I want to try. So when I do try it, hopefully, God willing, I can like document it and we can see how it's going and everything. But I absolutely want to try wetting it every day. And if nothing else, there is something so relaxing and calming about wetting your hair every day. Like just taking a shower and letting the water run in your hair and through your hair every single day. I think especially for those of us, for like black women or for women with curly textures who were told not to wet it every day, or we are not used to wetting it every day because we work so hard in the shower and things, like making sure our hair doesn't get wet, wearing a bonnet in the shower, or a scarf in the shower, or a shower cap in the shower. Like we are so used to that. So to be able to go in the shower and be free and just let the water run down your hair is like such a treat. So if nothing else, I remember that being like very relaxing and very soothing, to not be like, you know, this part of every other part of your body can get water, but your hair, no. Shades of Sage said, I also think it's important not to speak bad about your hair too, like use negative terms. Very, very true. Again, and that's why I do like the saying, your hair is a plant. I also like the saying, sometimes I think to myself, like, drink water like a fish, because those two things are really good, like beauty secrets. Putting water on you like a plant, and then putting water inside of you like a fish. So sometimes I just think to myself, like, I'm just a little fish. I need to make sure I have water at all times, drinking it and placing it on me. But yes, you should not be speaking negative about your hair, because we all know that there are power in words, right? So even in your mindset and how you talk about your hair, how you think about your hair, you want all of these things to be positive. So that also goes back to giving it attention. Having that hair routine, especially if it's something you do every night. I think Shades of Sage mentioned before how it's like part of her self-care routine. So if it's something you do every night, like taking that time to really focus on your hair is part of your self-care. And you know, just speaking good things about it, thinking good things about it, all of that is really, really, really good for your hair. So she definitely said a lot of good things. And of course, you know, we got some of this negative thoughts because of how we wear our hair. And so there has been this new trend on TikTok. For those you don't know, I love TikTok. So go ahead and follow me on TikTok. But there has been a new trend on TikTok of like people who have really curly hair like myself, but trying to embrace their curly hair. So not doing a twist out, not doing a braid out, not blow drying it, and wearing it out in public with it really, really curly and really, really like tightly coiled up to your scalp, you know, because that's how your hair can get. And it really doesn't matter how long it is sometimes. But wearing it like really, really tightly coily, like going out in public and just getting used to loving it and embracing it. Because again, if you're stretching your hair, if you're blow drying it, whatever the case may be, you're not going to wet it because you understand you're going to lose your style. So I think sometimes just being easy on yourself, being easy on your style, and allowing yourself to go ahead and, you know, enjoy your actual style. But I think I'm going to stop there today. So any other questions, comments, go ahead and get them in now. But we're gonna stop there today. We're talking about water and we're talking about your hair, and we're in the middle of a conversation that the author had with an older lady who had really, really long hair and had her hair in a braid. The last thing I wanted to mention was, again, she said that the older lady said that her granddaughter oils her hair and all that fun stuff, braids it and whatever, puts it up at night, and then wonders why it doesn't grow. Again, because oil is a sealer, and that is why many people do an oil and water mix, because they understand that oil seals the moisture in. Oil is not the moisturizer, it's a sealer. And I know for myself, one, I'm allergic to oils, but for my hair, so I can't put it on my scalp, but for my hair, oil oftentimes would dry it out. Like my hair, it did not seal it, nor did my hair really open up to receive it and get any benefits from it. So it would kind of stay on top of my hair, and then the next thing you know, it will be dry. Like I tried I tried all kind of oil treatments, like a hot oil treatment a few times, all of that fun stuff, and it would just dry my hair out so bad. So if you are using oil, then make sure you know what you're doing. But oil should be helping your hair, and if it's not, then maybe it's not for you. Because again, some things are good for other people, but they're not good for all of us. And for me, oil was not good for my natural hair, and those hot oil treatments, all of that, my hair was not into any of that, and it was not into none of that. All right, so yes, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, all that fun stuff. Leave me a comment if you have any other comments. We're still talking about water and the benefits of it, so go ahead and look at your hair routine, look at your regimen, and see how you can add water into it more. And again, thinking of yourself as a fish, you got to drink it, and thinking of your hair as a plant, you got to put it on. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. I hope this video wasn't too choppy or anything, but you all stayed on, so I'm guessing that it was okay. But yeah, let me know what you all think. Leave me a comment. Don't forget the thumbs up, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, adios.